Hello, welcome back to my channel. Yay. This is gonna be a story about a time I nearly got in trouble for something I didn't do and just dipped out of the situation with the help of my bus driver. The time it took place in was 7th grade, pretty much near the beginning, but this kid, not gonna name him, but he wasn't letting me get past him. Every time I would try and move, he would move in front of me, not let me get past. If I tried pushing him, he would push me back harder. So, yeah, I couldn't really get past him to get to my stuff. And I ended up moving off to the left to where he tried moving off to the in front of me super fast, which caused him to run into one of the windows. And at the school, and this was at a school, it was at the end, we were waiting in the bus line, but he ran into one of the windows, and the windows have like a screen in front of them, and pretty much that screen came off. So he's like, oh shoot, I just broke the screen on it. And so yeah, that let me get past him because he was like trying to like put it back on and stuff. And pretty much that happened. So I'm walking past him now, and this kid, I'm gonna call him Craig, he comes up to me, he stops me, and he's like, yo, why'd you break that? So I respond with, I didn't. If you had eyes, you would clearly see he ran into the window, not me. But Craig is like, no, you broke that. And he called me female dog. And so I was like, dude, you harassed me in 6th grade by calling me gay, like, every second of my life. You don't have to start back at harassing me because it didn't work. So I try getting past him. He does the thing the other kid does. He gets in my way. So I'm like, dude, just move. You're pretty dumb. So just leave me alone. I have no care about you. So he pretty much calls me another name for a cat. I'll probably put it up around here or something. But he calls me that, and he's like, you won't fight me, and he calls me it. So I'm like, of course I won't fight you. We're at the bus line. We have a bunch of teachers' eyes on us, dude. And he's like, that doesn't matter. No matter where I am, if someone messes with me, I'll fight them. I'm like, how about you throw a punch then? And he's like, you do it first. And I'm like, I only fight in self-defense. I want you to throw the first punch. And he just walks away. So I'm like, alright, cool. So I end up sitting down over by my bag, just looking at my phone. Like a minute passes by or something, and I get called over by a teacher. And I don't know this teacher, and I don't like her. She is not nice to me. And this is like the first incident where I'm like, I don't like this teacher. But pretty much, I look over at her, and who do I see standing right next to her with his arms crossed? It's Craig. And he has the most like, oh, I'm doing something to mess up your day kind of smirk on his face. So I walk over there, I'm like, yo, what's up? And she's like, you better speak to me like with respect. And I'm like, I'll do that when I do respect. And at that moment she already hated me. And I can understand why. I didn't come up with the most respect, but I was pretty annoyed, especially seeing that whatever was about to happen was going to be stupid. And the entire time between me and Craig talking, she was there watching it. So she saw and most likely heard the entire transaction between me and him. She's pretty much like, you don't have to get an attitude with me. And I'm like, alright, why'd you call me over then? And she's like, still, with the attitude, I don't need that. So I'm like, alright, just tell me why you called me over. And she's like, and she rolls her eyes and sighs at me, like I'm bothering her. But, so she's like, she points over to Craig, and she's like, so Craig here came up to me and just told me that you called him a female dog, another name for a cat, another name for a donkey, which I'll probably name off every single one. And then she's like, is that all true? And I'm like, I only called him dumb. None of those names I called him. 2 of those names he did call me, though. And she's like, well, I was here. I would have heard it. And I'm like, then you need hearing aids, lady. And she's like, don't get attitude with me. And I'm like, you're being dumb. So is he. And he's like, listen to the teacher, man. You already bully me. You used to call me gay throughout 6th grade, dude. You don't have to get into any more trouble. So I look at him, I'm like, are you really using the stuff that you did to me to get me in trouble by saying I did that to you? And he's like, I never did anything to you. I'm like, bet, the principal knows what you did to me. And she looks at him, he goes, like shrugs, like I don't know what this kid's talking about. And she takes that, she believes it, and she looks at me and is like, stop trying to get this kid in trouble. As far as I know, you're the bully and in the wrong. I'm like, lady, you need to like learn how to spectate better. So he's like, just stop trying to get in more trouble, dude. And I'm like, stop being a stupid idiot, dude. And she's like, you don't have to go harassing this child all the time. I'm like, he harasses me. What are you on about, lady? And so she's like I said 3 or 4 times, I don't need your attitude. And so I'm like, I don't need your attitude either. And he's like, dude, stop. So I look at him, I'm like, stop being an idiot and tell the truth. And she's like, you need to start telling the truth. I'm like, I don't need to do anything, seeing that I am telling the truth. And then he goes, I am telling the truth, like he's mocking me. So at that moment, I was about to push the teacher out of the way and full on just punch Craig square in the face, because I was done with him. I was done with the stupid stuff he would get up to. And I'm assuming she noticed, because I was balling up my hand into a fist, and she put her hands on each one of our shoulders and pushed each other away. And my bus comes up, and the bus driver opens the door and he's like, yo, you need to get on, we're holding up the line, you're the last one. So I'm like, alright. I grab my bag. She stops me. She's like, we're not done. I'm like, I need to get home. And do you know my name? And she's like, no, I don't. And I'm like, alright, cool. So I slap her hand off my shoulder, because when I tried getting on the bus, she like put her hand on my shoulder and stopped me and like grabbed on my shirt. So I slapped her hand and I just jumped onto the bus, told the bus driver start driving, and he did. And all due respect for this guy, he helped me. And so we get over to the high school. He stops because he has to pick people up, and he's like, what was all that about? I'm like, this kid called me some names, said I called him those names, and tried getting me in trouble. So I pretty much was gonna get in trouble for something he did. And he's like, oh, that's messed up, man. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Thanks for driving off. And he's like, no problem, man. I just have to get y'all home. It's my job. I'm like, yeah, I know. So I look back, and then the teacher asked the kid, and the kid, like, the teacher asked Craig something, but pretty much they start talking, and both of them, like, get that look that's like, alright, so we pretty much just lost. We can't do anything else, and then they just walked away. And I got home, and that's pretty much it. That's the end of that story. You, whoever's watching, could follow me on Instagram. It's probably going to be somewhere up here. I'm going to put it. But you can follow me there on Instagram if you want, or don't. I don't really care. You could give this video a like or dislike. again, I don't really care. And if you want, you maybe subscribe. I don't post often. I pretty much just post when I want. So don't really be expecting a schedule. Until I do announce I will get a schedule, which I don't know when that will be. So, yeah, that's pretty much going to be the end of this story time. Hope you liked it, and so, bye.